And to find ways of funding HIV interventions instead of relying on donor funds. Under the County AIDS Implementation Plan, counties will now mobilize their own funds in their own budgets to fighting HIV/AIDS. The National AIDS Control Council says the COVID-19 pandemic has created a lot of strain on donor funding, and counties must now think broad in the fight against HIV/AIDS.
The launch of the County AIDS Implementation Plan will herald a new beginning in the fight against HIV in Kenya as focus shifts to county-specific activities. Domestic funding in the fight for HIV has, however, been a major barrier, but counties have adopted a new approach where funds will be availed in their budget for the same.
Counties have not been able to put much emphasis on the fight on HIV and AIDS, and I think this plan now will provide a roadmap where counties will be able to sensitize their people.
Speaking during day 2 of the Maisha conference, the National AIDS Control Council CEO Ruth Flaibon noted that COVID-19 has had a lot of strains on funding partners, which calls for Kenya to shift focus on how to fund HIV interventions.
Where does the last mile take us? For a long time, we have not comprehended the cost of HIV to this country. If we require 25 billion Kenya shillings just for commodities alone, that has no salaries. 25 billion is required to provide access to prevention choices, but most importantly, life-saving medication. So what does that mean for us? It means we have to be on the driver's seat. It means we have to put money on the table.
Speaking on behalf of the Council of Governors, Elgeyo Marakwet Governor Alex Tulgos lauded the launch of the County AIDS Implementation Plan, expressing confidence that there is adequate political goodwill to fight HIV in the country.
I think sustainability will first of all start with budgeting. Once we have the resources to implement these plans, then we'll be able to sustain it. On the issue of political goodwill, I'm talking on behalf of all the 47 governors, and there is goodwill, there is political goodwill. And even having interacted with the other leaders, the members of county assemblies, the members of parliament, I believe there is that political goodwill.
The National AIDS Control Council, on its part, has committed to adopting best practices through improving coordination structures and enforcing accountability and prudent use of resources, calling on all duty bearers to do the right thing to ensure the achievement of the last mile.
The HIV response shall only be successful if every single Kenyan is not being deterred by the costs of visiting the hospital to achieve the other things I'm going to mention what they have done. Early adoption of science and technology. They make sure that as science emerges, it is adopted. And because science is adopted, the next thing they do is to ensure this early diagnosis.
Caroline Kamar reporting for Channel 1 News.